This one time, back in the early 2016, I think, a year after release of Elite Dangerous and few weeks after I've joined the fun, I've experienced something similar to space madness, sort of. It's a pretty funny story, if I can say so. Back then, there was no Colonia. Jack Station wasn't even found yet. There were no Fargoids. There were no engineers even. Money were very hard to come by. Buying and outfitting Anaconda, the biggest ship in the game back then, with A-rated modules was considered the end game. In short, it was a different time and a very different game that it is today. Much harder and much more unforgiving. I remember that this took place when Horizon's expansion just launched. Expansion that gave players ability to land on atmosphereless planets and moons. At that time I was still a noob, still learning basic stuff, avoiding combat and danger. Well, sort of, because I've decided to buy myself a DBX and go out on my first proper exploration trip outside of the bubble. Sure, I've visited Pleiades already at that point. But let's be honest, Seven Sisters are not that far, relatively speaking. Nah, I wanted to go somewhere much farther. My plan was to reach Eta Carina Nebula on the east of the bubble. Pretty ambitious stuff for a noob with a small fragile ship that can only jump about 40 light years, which by the way was a very good jump range back then. There was no deep spectrum scanner that we use today to map entire star system in a matter of minutes. No, if I wanted a proper scan of the system, I had to go to each body myself. Third-party tools, plugins, forget about it. I couldn't even use this well-known old chart on my journey, because I haven't made it yet. Suffice to say, exploration was a very different activity than it is today. It was much slower and required a lot of in-system travel, without supercruise overcharge. Reaching Eta Carina back then was a feat that one could boast about. So, there I was, flying and scanning star systems along the way. At one point I thought to myself, why not watch something thematic while I'm doing all this? Like this David Butler fellow.
I'm taking a slice of physics and astronomy and just talking about distances and how we know how far away things are.
That's perfect! Let's go!
A good way to report planetary distance is to use an average distance from the Sun. An astronomical unit, AU for short, is the average distance from the Earth to the Sun.
I mean, I know he's talking about real stuff, but for me, main activity is playing the game right now. I am immersed in it, and Davey is just a background noise meant to enhance my experience. So, I'm converting all of what he says into in-game, in-universe logic.
Mars is 1.5 AU, or 228 million kilometers from the Sun.
Please, that is not even a challenge for my character. You would have to pay me to actually consider wasting my time on that pitiful distance. Go bigger, my man. Go bigger!
Neptune, a twin of Uranus, is the furthest planet from the Sun at 4.5 billion kilometers. That's 2.8 billion miles. It takes 164 years to revolve around the Sun.
That's more like it. That's 30 AUs, or 15,000 light seconds. That's a distance I can appreciate as I'm bouncing between all of those bodies, using this fantastic technology in this fantastic game setting to travel several times faster than the speed of light, in 1-to-1 scale of our galaxy. Look how long it takes me, even at those speeds, to reach my targets. Consider how long it will take for people at our current level of technology to go that far.
Voyager 1 has traveled the furthest, at 140 astronomical units. That's 140 times further away from the Sun than we are.
Now we're talking. 140 AUs is about 70,000 light seconds for us Elite Dangerous commanders. That's like 15 real minutes of travel time, which is a lot for A players and absolutely nothing for real astronauts and space agencies if you present them with warp drive tech like that.
In 1950, in order to explain long-period orbits, the Dutch astronomer Jan Oort proposed the existence of a cloud of comets between 5,000 and 55,000 astronomical units from the Sun. Other estimates have it going out much further. All estimates put the Oort cloud well outside the heliosphere.
Whoa, that's a big step up, from 140 AUs to 50,000 AUs. That's almost a light year right here. I find it really misleading when all of those science channels do that. Talking about solar system and then right away going for a light year or more. They give viewers wrong impression that this is the next step, while in reality we're talking a huge jump forward with this. Imagine a distance from Sun to Neptune and multiply that 2108 times. That's where we are right now. 31,536,000 light seconds. 1 light year. Challenging amount of space, even for those faster than light no time dilation, Elite Dangerous warp drives. Or is it? Turns out folding space is not the only way of reaching those stars. Let's stop making those small steps. Let's make a huge jump. When you thought we've had impossible magical propulsion system, we've just made it thousands of times more impossible. Now we can proceed.
This Hubble image shows a white Sirius A, the brightest star in our nighttime sky. Along with its faint, white, tiny stellar companion, Sirius B. The two stars revolve around each other every 50 years.
You also need a system permit to be able to jump there.
Since 1838, many astronomers have spent decades measuring star parallaxes.
And I can go to nearly all of them in just one jump. God, I love this game.
The Pleiades are an example of a cluster which has boiled away most of the H2 region from which it formed. Only a trace of blue reflection luminosity remains.
444 light years. That's just 10 jumps for this ship. That's all it takes to reach Pleiades. Almost half a century of light travel. Done in just 10 jumps.
Eta Carina, 10,000 light-years away, is estimated to be 100 times more massive than our Sun.
Hey, that's where I'm going right now.
It is one of the most massive stars in the galaxy. It radiates about 5 million times more power than our Sun, and its mass, as you can see, also makes it very unstable.
10,000 light years. That's a bit farther than in the game, but I'm not complaining. It's hard to get there as it is, even with those warp and jump drives.
Here's a full dome illustration that shows how Sag-A star might look to viewers on a planet orbiting S2 as it orbits the black hole.
Okay, that's really far, even for us Elite Dangerous commanders. Local stars. That was a joke. This is not a joke. Going that far takes some planning and preparation. If I was to go there, the noob that I am, ideally I would like to join some kind of expedition. Unlike us, normal people can't appreciate how distant this object is. Maybe I'll try to go there if I get my hands on an anaconda. I've heard one can get one for free from a station near Proxima Centauri.
Before V1, distances to stars were measured in thousands of light years. After V1, the universe became a much bigger place.
2.6 million light years. That's like going to Sagittarius A star over a 100 times. That's insane! And worse yet, instead of not thinking about it back then, I'm actually trying to imagine this trip. And I'm getting goosebumps. I'm on the journey to Eta Carina. I've been flying for over a week now, and I'm like halfway there. How long it will take me to reach Andromeda at that pace? 5? 10 years? More? I don't want to make this calculation.
There are over 30 galaxies in the local group. Andromeda is the largest, the Milky Way is second, and Triangulum is third.
Shut up! Shut the hell up! I'm still trying to wrap my head around Andromeda! Elite Dangerous and this kind of videos are actually the worst possible combination. Big numbers are no longer just words without meaning. I can really feel those because of the immersion.
The Virgo supercluster, also known as the local supercluster, is 110 million light years in diameter.
I'm going to be sick. This ship's maximum supercruise warp speed is 2000 times the speed of light. How long it will take it to go across Virgo supercluster at that speed? 55,000 years. Of this. Of 2000 superluminal. I also did the calculation for jumps. 40 light years every minute. That's 5 years, without any breaks. Over 5 years.
Bluish purple are the nearest sources, within 140 million light years.
How dare you? How dare you speak so calmly about it? This is impossible. Impossible even for this impossible tech. Do you even comprehend that?
Green are at moderate distances, out to 600 million light years.
And red are the most distant sources, out to 1 billion light years.
Okay, stop. Stop this. I am feeling drunk and dizzy. I actually physically feel sick. I can't take it anymore. Yeah, no, sorry David. I'm not going to watch the rest of it. In fact, I can't go on with the game either. I just can't. Can't. I wasn't feeling like going back in for like a week. I've got overwhelmed so much. When I finally logged back in, I've immediately returned to the bubble. I failed reaching Eta Carina that time. Who needs it? Let's just do some asteroid mining instead. Isn't this nice? This ring of finite, relatively low number asteroids occupying this tiny little speck of space. It's a safe space. Sure, there are some pirates in it, but fuck 'em. I'll take it. Eventually, I've reached that blasted stupid star on the second attempt. It was pretty underwhelming and actually disappointing, but that's not the point. Point is, I don't laugh at space madness. I can relate. I've actually, somehow, kind of been there. Like really no joke. How crazy is that? And that was a true story of how it happened. Thanks for watching it. 07 Commander.